Sony weren't wasting any time. We now have an official release date for 28 Years Later Part 2, The Bone Temple. But another big question is, what is the Bone Temple? I think with the success of the 28 Years trailer being one of the most viewed horror movie trailers of all time, just behind Pennywise, It from 2017, I think it was best for Sony to give us a little bit more, and that's exactly what they've done already. We now have a release date for the Bone Temple for January the 16th, 2026. And if I'm being honest, I think that's a little early. I know that they're filming it just now, so they're almost finished anyway. They were filming back to back with the first part that's coming out in June 2025. So it makes sense for it to come out just a little bit after the release of 28 Years Later, but I really wasn't expecting that early. I was thinking another year down the road, possibly June 2026, but we're getting it in January, so I'm happy with that. I think the big question is, what is the Bone Temple exactly? I think we saw a few teasers of it in the trailer for 28 Years Later when we see Jodie Comer's character and Ralph Fiennes' character walking through what looks to be the Bone Temple. But what is it exactly? I think it obviously is some sort of worshipping place. I don't know if it's normal people that are worshipping the Bone Temple. Maybe there's some sort of superstition where if you go there, then you won't get infected, or if you are infected, you won't turn crazy, like some of the ones who have got the rage virus in them. I feel like the Bone Temple might be a safe haven for some people, not everyone, of course, but I feel like it's a place that might have to them some sort of power. Hopefully, it doesn't have any supernatural power to it. I don't think it's going to be anything like that, because even though it is the rage virus, we're still keeping it kind of grounded, because it's not full-on zombies that we've got, it's just people that are infected with this rage virus. Could this Bone Temple be a place where Jim possibly is? Maybe this is where Jim has been all this time. Maybe he knows something that other people don't know. Maybe there's something that he can do there that other people can't do. I just don't know. Because the second part is called the Bone Temple, how much of the Bone Temple are we going to see in 28 Years Later? What we saw in the trailer, could that possibly be footage from the second part, the Bone Temple? Or could it be near the end of 28 Years Later when possibly they're escaping from the infected, or they're escaping from the military and they seek refuge in this place? Obviously, there's a lot more questions than answers, and with the trailer, with the title of the second one, it leaves us with more questions than answers, of course, but I genuinely think the Bone Temple is some sort of worshipping place. I don't know what they're worshipping, if they're worshipping people who are not infected, maybe the last remaining people who are not infected, or if it's people who are infected that don't have the rage in them, like Robert Carlyle's wife's character in 28 Weeks Later, or is it a place where the infected are going, the rage virus people are going as well, because we know that they're going to be evolved in this one. That's what it says in the poster. They're more evolved. So maybe the Bone Temple is a place for the ones that do have the rage virus, but they can control it, but they're just wanting to go out there and either kill people or infect them as well to become part of their group. Either way though, I'm excited. I'm excited for the first part that's coming out in June, 28 Years Later, and I'm also excited for 28 Years Later Part 2, we're going to call it, the Bone Temple. Obviously, our excitement can go up, it can go down, depending on how good or bad this one that's coming out in June is going to be. But from what the trailer tells us, from the synopsis, from what we see, or the people that are going to be in it, then I think it's going to be a good one. What are your thoughts though, guys? What are your thoughts on the movie coming out so soon in January 2026? And what are your thoughts on the title? I know there was rumours that it was going to be called The Bone Temple, but nothing was fully confirmed yet. It's going to be directed by Nia DaCosta as well, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Time will tell, of course. But what are your thoughts on it overall? What are your thoughts on the title? And what do you think the title means, The Bone Temple? As always, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back!